Hello, welcome to You Can't Polish a Turd Reviews. What this new little series is going to be about, guys, is from time to time, off and on, I'm going to revisit this little series and tell you about flicks that hold one of two qualities. Either they're just the utterly worst piece of crap I've ever seen on celluloid, and I'm going to recommend that you don't see them ever, or two, I'm going to say that they're good in that bad way, and you may want to visit them if you're into that type of movie. So, without further delay, let's dive right into this new little series here, guys. It gives me a chance to not be... I never like to be truly negative in my reviews, but I like to be fair. Sometimes, guys, a certain movie will come along that I invest an hour and a half plus in sometimes, and I just want that time back. You know what I'm talking about. There's those movies out there that you just, oh dang man, after you get finished and those credits roll, you're like, thank God for the credits, and I wish I had my 90 minutes back. I'll never get them back. So what I'm going to start off with is truly one of those, guys. This is one of those that'll steal 90 minutes of your life away, and you're going to be sitting there going, why in the world did I even invest that much time in it? Today's movie on You Can't Polish a Turd Reviews is going to be Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. You better watch out. Okay, guys. This movie I already knew was going to be pretty bad anyway. It came in a little 4-pack that I showed recently. It was came out to be $1.25 per movie. I saw this movie once when I was growing up, and whenever it first came out in the late 80s on home video. And I revisited it by way of this little 4-pack of movies here just yesterday, as a matter of fact. And I gotta tell you guys, what a turd. This movie is terrible, even by Silent Night, Deadly Night series standards. If there is such a thing. I don't even know if there is such a thing. Okay, let's go back in time a little bit. In 1984, I believe it was, you had Silent Night, Deadly Night original that came out. Albeit it borrowed from some predecessor movies who will remain nameless at this point. But it's basically a troubled teen who has mental problems, puts on a Santa suit, and kills people on Christmas Eve. Well, even in itself, it was a slightly if you quote unquote, I will use this term lightly, successful movie in the slasher genre boom of the 80s. In and of itself. Well, after the original was out, and I only classify the original, I don't even really call it a classic. It's really just kind of a low-grade slasher movie that kind of kept that holiday-themed slasher effort going throughout the mid to late 80s. Well, Silent Night, Deadly Night Part 2 comes out, and really, I'd say at least half of that movie, 40-45 minutes of that movie, is nothing but recap, drop-in footage from the first movie, just to kind of keep moving that story along in Part 2, which had basically the same story as Part 1. Such as Part 3. Part 3 does utilize some flashbacks to the original as well as trying to add a new story. It drops in the actor Bill Moseley in the role of, I think it's Ricky is his name. Ricky Caldwell's the notorious killer from the first movie, but let alone does Bill Moseley, he doesn't even look like the original Ricky, and there is no Santa suit in this movie. It does happen on Christmas Eve, but you can barely even tell it's Christmas from the poor production design of the movie. It's not a good movie. I'm just going to tell you like that. It's just terrible, terrible, terrible. Even by low-grade slasher standards of the 80s, the acting is horrible. It's even horrible for horrible actors. I'll say it that way. The special effects are subpar. They're even below subpar in this movie. I didn't even think they were that great at all. You could have went down to your local novelty magician shop and gotten probably some props or something that does better special effects than this movie does. Bill Moseley spends the movie kind of walking around. He's probably utters a couple of names. He's speechless throughout the movie in this role of Ricky, which is the killer from the first movie. He's got this really campy looking dome thing over his head where it has an exposed brain cap thing underneath it with fluid in it, and this little, looks like a radio controlled device on the back, little antenna sticking off the top of it. If that alone doesn't scare you away from this movie, I don't know what will. don't be drawn in by the poster there. The poster looks kind of like the other two. That's kind of like the gimmick to draw you into renting it or buying it or whatever. I would never rent this movie again, nor would I buy this movie again. I really just wanted it for Slaughter High that came with this one. This pack, and maybe Repossessed. But Silent Night, Deadly Night 3, the story is just Ricky Caldwell's laid comatose in this mental unit where they're experimenting with ESP. Yeah. Extrasensory projection. Anyway, there's this girl who's kind of got the gift, if you will, that she's inherited from her grandmother and the genes of the family, and she can see into Ricky's mind and kind of gets flashes of who he's going to kill next, and he goes after her on Christmas Eve. He awakens from his coma for what reason, I don't know, and then just havoc ensues. But even the havoc is not good in this movie. There is no redeeming feature other than one little thing. I would have to say that this movie's only redeeming feature is basically, I like the music score in the movie. I'm kind of a sucker for 80s synthesizer scores, especially in horror movies. But if you could just take the music of this movie and plop it into another low-grade horror movie that needed better music, hey, we probably got a better movie all the way around. But that's really the only thing I can say good about this movie is the basic score of the music, the synthesizer tunes and the cues in the movie. That's about the only thing I really enjoyed in the movie. Don't think I'll be revisiting it anytime soon unless it's just has to be done. But for my opinion, guys, there are no special features on this disc. It is a full screen version of the movie. I don't even know if there's a widescreen out there. I think this was a straight to video release in the late 80s. Came out in 89. It's 90 minutes long, 90 minutes wished that I had back, that is. So, guys, I'll just leave it with you there. There's really nothing else to say about this movie. It tries to play too much and tries to grab too much from the original to keep its own self going. Bad special effects, bad horrible acting even for these standards, bad film stock. The movie looks like crap. What else can I say? It went straight to video. Really just kind of up there in the junky horror list. I mean, it's only there for a completist. I mean, if you're a Silent Night, Deadly Night completist and you just gotta watch this type of thing to complete the series, this is your movie. This is the one you want to go get. For guys and gals who love the original, you're probably not even going to like this one. So, or if you like good, bad horror movies, it's not even in that good, bad category. This one's an utter turd in my opinion, and I won't be revisiting it. So, it's got a cool tagline on the front poster here: "When your nightmare ends, the real terror begins." I only wish it really happened in this movie. Guys, that's been the inaugural video for the You Can't Polish a Turd series that I'll be revisiting from time to time. Stay away from Silent Night, Deadly Night 3. It smells bad even from here. Take care, guys, and I'll see you next time.